morning, Mr. Ruiz. You were arrested for 2 counts of open murder and use of a deadly weapon. The court did find probable cause existed for your arrest. You need to hear from the district attorney's office today, and then we'll hear from the public defender.
Your Honor, it's the state's understanding the public defender would like to pass this to the department.
That is correct, Your Honor. I would like our homicide team to handle this case personally, so we're asking for 2 days to the department.
So, Mr. Ruiz, this court will be holding you on no bail. I'm going to send your case to the department that will ultimately be hearing your case going forward. And you will have your Valdez-Jimenez hearing at that point. That court date will be
June 12 at 8:30 in Department 14.
Thank you.
Damn YouTube, how y'all doing, man? It's Coffee on the vid, and life is just crazy, right? Whenever a matter of life and death just comes right before our eyes, it's just puts really things into perspective in so many ways, man. And everyone done seen this case that's erupted into national news headlines. Not that I thought it wouldn't, but it's just everyone's talking about this, the shooting that went down on the Vegas Strip between 2 content creators and dude turning himself in. I thought dude was going on the run. Sin City Manny, that is, right after he got up out the scene. Kind of shocked me, but I guess everyone was so focused on first just being shocked that all that went down right in front of the Bellagio. That's just insane, man. And you know, then responders come in and trying to save individuals and all that. Like with all that melee going on, he was able to flee and get up out of there. And everyone join me in the comments with your thoughts on it all. This whole YouTube beef, we done seen it so many times, man. And real talk, like we always are talking about how unhinged and just deranged and bugged out a lot of individuals are in the blogosphere. We've seen people's online antics and actions. So why is it so shocking that someone would go that far if you really think about it, you know? Because everyone's always like, man, they ain't gonna do nothing, you know what I mean? Just a lot of ego, pride, anger, all kinds of emotion all over the spectrum. And with all this going on and everyone taking it in and dude turning himself in and trying to claim self-defense, like, please, man, can y'all believe that for real? Like, this dude is talking about he was reaching for something. Only the police get away with ish like that. I'm not seeing no way this happens, man. You blew someone away on Livestream. You can't see right outside the field of view. He pulled that thing out and told me, or I thought he was gonna, because there was no weapon. And then he tried to say the same thing about the wife. I seen her reaching too after I had offed him. Fucking psycho, man. But with all this being said, we got a rapper reacting to this that seemingly knew the suspect, the alleged shooter, we gotta say, even though we done seen it right before our very eyes, right? A friend and a family member all chiming in with their thoughts.
Started the page and it just blew up. He didn't have no idea it was going to blow up like that.
Kennedy's son, Rodney Finley, was known online as Finny the Legend.
He wanted always to be the funniest person in the room.
Finley's profile had more than 6,000 subscribers. Sometimes his wife, Tanisha Finley, known as Bubbly, would be in the background.
One night, it was over 1,000 people.
Kennedy admits her son and another streamer, Sin City Manny, whose real name is Manuel Ruiz, had been arguing online.
And it was just back and forth, back and forth. He told him, he said, he talked about the whole family. He said, I hope your mom have a black dress because I'm going to kill you.
Sunday, the online feud took a deadly turn in real life.
I was on stream when it happened. I called him. He said, Mom, I can't talk to you right now because I'm live streaming. And then I heard the shots. And then I heard some more shots. And the phone dropped.
Ruiz turned himself into police a day after the shooting, claiming self-defense. However, according to this arrest report, social media contradicts Ruiz's claims. Viewers watching both Manny and Finny's live stream Sunday commented saying, quote, Manny was across the street at the Paris Hotel and was looking for Finny. Kennedy says the feud should have been stopped long before it reached this point.
And then I told my son, I said, come on, this is getting too far. Calm it down, calm it down.
Was he ever scared that something like this was going to happen?
He said he wasn't.
A
family says Reese and Finley had an altercation in Vegas about 2 months ago. According to police, Reese's wife said he was cited for battery in that case. Reese was denied bond this week, and he will be back in court tomorrow. Reporting live in the studio, Alexis Dominguez for Arizona's Family.
All right, so you heard the man who lost his life's mom speaking there. She said Manny told her before, referenced her in a video. I don't think he said it right to her, but said it on live. You better get a black dress. I'm gonna put your son in the dirt, man. You know, like if you go back over this, there's numerous times he referenced to like how off someone. He said it in so many ways, so many times. And then something that not a lot of channels have highlighted, but I have seen it spoke on was, you know, that this just didn't start from an online beef like so many online beefs we see, right? There was actually a real life incident, altercation. When everyone who saw that incident, to me it seemed like it just didn't make no sense. The Manny dude and his wife or chick are streaming on Fremont doing their thing or whatever, doing their performance, and then Finney and his wife is just out and about on a trip or whatever. I believe they were from AZ, and they're in town. You know, you go to Vegas, it's not that far away. Enjoy the sights, take it in, spend time with the family. It's great going on trips and such. And they were streaming, and the people were like, oh, we're streaming live on the street, but we don't want us to be in your stream or whatever. In a little beef, you know, jumped off, and that's where the pepper spraying incident happened. You know what I mean? And you're going to see the friend who we're going to go over what they said, I'm glad it was pepper spray and not bullets. How just crazy is that dude said that back when all that happened or whatever. And, you know, again, you just go over all the content that's out there, all the, you know, back and forth, all the commentary on it over the past year or so since all this has been going down. There was numerous threats, numerous references, like all the warning signs in the sense that this could really go there were there. Not to mention the Finney dude flat out made a video not long before his demise saying this dude is unhinged, you know, because they were going back and forth, striking each other's channel. And I'm so sick of that. YouTube needs to do a better job, man. Like what we see Point and Shoot going through right now with No Jumper, where he's appealed many strikes and won. And then some of the strikes that come through, YouTube's like, we're not going to strike, you know, because this has happened. There should be a thing where they just need to look into it better, that it's fair use before they even engage in the striking activity. It's so sucker-ish, you know, just like, hey, I can live stream, but you can't live stream me. I can strike you, but you can't strike me. Like, look up out of here. What are you talking about? And as we're going to get into with the friends addressing this as well, and we got to get to that rapper just momentarily, his take on it all is a bit shocking to me. The dude, Rodney or Finney, right? You heard his mom, he liked to make everyone laugh and stuff like that. Or or maybe the friend said that he controlled the emotions well. She just loved her son very much, you know, and it's just so sad seeing a mom in pain and mourning like that. And, you know, her aware of everything that was going on and trying to urge him to end this fluffery. But he went about things in a right way, in a sense. He didn't get physical back. He was like, yo, you want to play with me? I'll play back. Oh, do you want to strike me? I'll strike you back. I'm going to appeal the strikes. Like, dude tried to handle it in a more grown way. I mean, it got very antagonistic and immature at times, but he dealt with things on a more realistic level. You know, like, okay, you want to pepper spray my wife? I'm going to walk away and go the other way. And I'll clap back in other ways. And the Manny dude just couldn't take it when YouTube rejected those strikes on him, man. But people, what the rapper said, and the rapper in which we're speaking of is Travis Ford. I don't know if you guys remember this guy. He just went crazy viral on No Jumper with the cake. We pulled up with a bunch of, it was being tagged all throughout the media. 20 Crips pull up to No Jumper with a cake showing love. They had the No Jumper graphics on the side of a truck or a van or whatever. And No Jumper called the police on him. And then we found out H0M1 was just hardcore and one of them binges that he be on. It's crazy, Lush. Why you throw your recovery away like that, man? You know, all for this whole No Jumper thing. And at the end of the day, he got suspended for a little while, but Travis Ford ended up coming there, doing an interview, getting to the content, and he's been actually winning lately. This is a guy I've been rooting for, you know, because he was affiliated with a Fluck Boy rapper at one point in time who was on some straight hoe-ish, and, you know, didn't want to see Travis Ford win, and he's always worked hard, had some really good music, and it seems like he's starting to pay off for him, like the networking and things like that. His internet blogosphere stock is going up. But you see, he took to social network and said, "Free Sin City Manny, my bro, self-defense." I'm shocked to see this. And I know Travis Ford spent a lot of time in Vegas and goes there for a lot of events. So it seems at some point in time, they must have got tapped in with each other and maybe did some content together or something like that that I'm not aware about. I don't know, but he seemingly is supporting Manny and saying, yo, this was self-defense. And again, I just don't see it in any way. You know, something that was pointed out in that video too was, and everyone let me know what you think from watching the whole content play out. I thought that, you know, even though they were going back and forth, that the Manny dude didn't notice him at that time and was passing by, because you can clearly see in the stream, it was like he made it on by, and I don't know if people in the chat were pointing out or something, but the wife went over and said something to him, and then the dude came up and words were exchanged, and what happened, and RIP to the both of them. It was so fucking crazy. But I've went back and forth on if dude flat out was there with the strap looking to lay individuals down, or looking to just put a scare into individuals, trying to flash the chrome and, yo, I'm Big Bad Manny, Sin City family, SA. I got the heater on me. This is my city. Y'all are my biggest fans, SA, or something like that. I don't know, you know. But at one point in time, I was looking at that like, I don't know, man. It looks like he was going to pass on by, and maybe he just happened to be out. Because, you know, sometimes people be looking for people, but not really looking for them. Like, hey, you know, trying to be a tough guy, or like I said, pride and emotions and things like that, and was out looking. And then when he seen him, he really didn't want to get into nothing. But once it was put out there that they knew that they seen him, that he was like, okay, now I got to do something. Or if he flat out, you know, was looking for him right at that time, was stalking them and did what he did. Either way, it's premeditated to me, because he was walking around with the strap on him. I don't know, but this whole self-defense claim thing is just ludicrous as fuck, in my opinion. You know, like, oh, he was reaching. Like, dude, again, that's ish the police do and get away with things, and shouldn't, but they do. That's like their easy out. Hey, I seen him reaching, or hey, throw a drop gun at his feet. He had a strap on him, right? But we've seen police shoot people reaching for IDs. Hell, in Casino, remember the guy was reaching for a damn submarine sandwich, and the shiny tinfoil wrapper they thought was the heat, and laid him down. But the audacity of this guy thinking he's going to make this claim and it's going to work is just outlandish to me, and just downright clownery, you know. And he's in there with no bail. I don't know, there was a lot of reports that this guy was off the D-rugs, and in so many ways, I think he had to be, man, running around painted up like a juggalo. No disrespect to the juggalos or anything, but when you go peep this hot guy's whole get down and the way he was moving, a lot of the time he seemed like someone that was off them D-rugs. And I see he was always, you know, trying to hit people up for money and stuff like that. You know, it's like some people just live beyond their means, but some people, it's like the D-rugs, you know what I'm saying? And anyone who rocks with this channel, you know, I say that from a place of someone who's well aware of all this. But I don't know, man, I just can't believe Travis Ford is showing support. I'd like to talk with him and see what he has to say about it, his thoughts on why this is self-defense and all that, you know what I mean, and why he supports this guy, and what kind of rapport or relationship they had prior to this. So I think I'm gonna try and reach out and interview him and see what he got to say. So comment, everyone out there, and let me know what you think about it, and if you want to tune into that interview and you're intrigued to know what exactly possessed him to say all that, and if you're a fan of Travis Ford or not, you know what I'm saying. I think dude's a dope artist, but I think he's a bit tripping with this whole take on things. But there, you know, we have the take of the mother of the deceased thoughts and prayers out to her. Again, R.I.P. to Finney and his wife, Bubbly, the individual who was pepper sprayed off top when this whole real life situation went down that spawned this online back and forth that carried on for a year. But and then the rapper Travis Ford. But now let's get to a friend. I don't know. There's a name, Derek Ware. That's the name of the friend of Finney, right? He caught up with the media and said, I was saying I'm glad it was just pepper spray. It wasn't bullets. I said, I don't want to see you here in pain with bullets in you. So let's figure this out. So again, how crazy is that? That's initially talking about the original incident with the pepper spray. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, don't lose your life behind this. And again, too, we heard his mom saying, was your son afraid at all? And she was like, no. You know what I mean? Because so often we're like, man, these chumps ain't gonna do nothing. But you know, it's like a pride and ego thing. But at the end of the day, like, don't underestimate people, man, especially if they got the heat. You know, he also said his wife said she was okay, so he was just like, okay, let's handle this another way. He controls his emotions very well. That's what I liked about him the most. And he seemed like a funny, like, joke around, kind of calm, cool dude, and handled this in a different way. But obviously with this other guy, we know it was a total different story, man. He also said Manny was welcome. So this is in regards to the platform that he started, you know, that anyone could come on and speak freely, and we're encouraged to. And yo, same thing over here as always, man. If you're new, it's all about talking with y'all, the people. So make sure to subscribe, join Team Coffee, and jump into the comment sections on these, you know, news topics and different stuff. We cover everything from crime to just trending news to sports to music to whatever it is. I want to hear from y'all. You know what I'm saying? You disagree, I can agree to disagree. I want to hear what it all is, as there's always something to take from all this as we, you know, go on the journey of life. You gotta peep everything and put it all into perspective, and, you know, keep it pushing and become more in tune with things and grow as people. But it says Manny was welcome to come on and defend himself. He kept it fair. It wasn't just a bash. It wasn't just let's talk about Manny, talk bad about Manny. It's just everybody's experience where told the outlet. And there's a lot of people saying that this dude did just bash him all the time, and you know that, like, people are almost blaming the victims in a sense. But like, come on, man, they were just clapping back in their own way, trying to be more grown. Maybe like I said, at times it was immature or whatever, but like, fuck out of here. What this dude did is horrendous, and that's not all the content was about. I've seen through the clips, they really did want to talk with other people, because it seemed the Sin City family, a lot of people did have negative interactions with that, man. You know what I mean? I think they were not only off the D-rugs, but getting high off their own little lightweight clout that they just thought was so much more than it really was. You know what I'm saying? Over time, as Ruiz reportedly lost followers, Finney's online presence grew. Ware believes this may have added fuel to the fire. That's just sickening. It's sick. What do you get out of that? I don't get that. You just ruined two families. And, you know, it just goes on to say that dude's facing the charges, locked up, no bail, man. But there you have it. Lives lost, a YouTube beef. Someone, too, just pointed out, too, as before the dude turned himself in, like, I was really thinking he was heading to Mexico, man. That was the word, you know, in the blogosphere streets and all that this dude was going to flee the country. He fled the scene. And some people were saying he didn't even have the money to pay to get a ride up out of there. I don't know. You know what I mean? And the police, it was revealed through the media that night that they were stopping all the people coming out of the World Series of Poker. Like, yo, are you being held against your will? They thought maybe he had hopped up in a whip with the strap and told someone, drive out of here and act natural, or that's your arse. You know what I'm saying? I just off two people. You want to be number three? But yeah, man, it's just also wild that dude deleted a bunch of his content the next day trying to cover his tracks. But we know that ish is archived anyways, and the clips are all over the blogosphere. You're seeing them being used by all these content creators just like myself. Like, it's all out there, including the dude searching for these individuals, including to the dude you know, making lightweight threats. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be inferenced in many ways. And I'm sure if this does indeed go to trial with this dude's ludicrous self-defense claim, a lot of that ish will be played in court. But he ended up deleting the whole channel, as you see someone saying, look how stupid all this is. You know, this dude wanted to go back and forth, and all this time and everything he put into this platform, and now it just doesn't exist. So there you have it, man. Family member, rapper, friend all react to this case, and dude's self-defense claim that, again, this shit is preposterous. I can't believe this guy. He must have went to jail, binged out real quick before he went in, or was still high for a day or two talking like that. So that's it for this one. I thank y'all for tuning in. It's Coffee. Hit them buttons. Let's talk. I'm gonna get with you guys on the next one. Peace.